Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Now, you have probably been hearing in the news or seeing the headlines or watching the conversations on LinkedIn, and it's all about quiet quitting. I want to talk for a moment about quiet quitting. When you read into it, when you read the definition of quiet quitting, it is that people are only showing up and doing what is expected of them for their job. Y'all, we need to calm down. It is not what we think it is. The entire workforce has gone through a major shift. Part of that shift has been traumatic. We've had layoffs happening. We had furloughs happening. There was a lot of communication going on that people didn't really know what was going to happen. And people have realized that, you know what? We've been talking about work-life balance for a long time, but it's kind of important. I want to put my family first. I want to have time for hobbies. I don't want to give my blood, sweat, and tears to my organization anymore. And as leaders, that can be scary, but I don't think it is to the point that the news is making it out to be. What I would say is that if I have to guess, I feel it's more that the Great Resignation isn't holding space anymore. And so the news people are trying to find something to get us all worked up. So when we're looking at talent and how do we develop our talent, a hint to that is to not get paranoid that your people aren't working enough. If you weren't concerned about it before you heard of quiet quitting, you shouldn't be concerned about it after you have heard of quiet quitting. I recently had the opportunity to facilitate a activity, and part of the activity was this idea of mistrust and how it can cause us to spend energy in places that hold no value for us. It actually hurts productivity, and people end up, words are hard, people end up spending more time focusing on this false idea of mistrust than they do on the actual project. And to me, this is what quiet quitting is. It's this mistrust that is being planted in us as leaders to start looking for reasons to not trust our employees. And the thing about this is when you start looking for employees to not, or reasons to not trust your employees, you will find them. And when you look for reasons to trust your employees, to lean into your employees, to develop your employees, you will find them. So be intentional and make the choice that you're going to lean into your team. Quiet quitting has introduced the idea that we need to be looking at how the workforce has changed, but it's not to the level that I think the news is making it out to be. So when you're looking at your team and you're consider quiet quitting, are you checking in with your team? Are you having conversations with your team? Are you giving your team the things that they need? Then don't worry about quiet quitting. People are not going to give their blood, sweat, and tears to organizations anymore, and that's okay. They're looking for balance, and that's okay. They're looking to have energy at the end of the day to pour into their friends and their family and their loved ones, and you know what? That's okay. So thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing week. And don't forget, as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.